Artist Development Network.com.
We are on Music Row at Kenny Royster Studio, Direct Image Recording Studios. I love Kenny's productions. They sound like records, and they're not the same cost as records, yet they sound like them.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that I do to make it easy by having all the gear in here. So.
Well, one of the things that I want to say about Kenny that I really appreciate is that he doesn't just produce great tracks, by hiring top-notch musicians and his know-how on how to engineer and mix the tracks. He actually coaches our artists on their vocals, and that's one of the most important elements that's missing from some of the producers in town. They don't know how to coach vocals.
Yeah, well.
So tell us about that. Why is that so important?
Well, I mean, everything that if you're coming to Nashville, you're not coming to Nashville to get great tracks and hear how great the guitar player is. You're trying to come here and get how great you are. So, the whole idea about when you're doing vocals is you really need somebody that can recognize what's going on if you're not doing something that's like as good as it could be. There's like phrasing and tone and just performance value, and I've been working with singers for about 25 years.
Some of the people you've worked with. Tell us some of the people you've worked with.
Craig Morgan, Richie McDonald, Trace Atkins, Heidi Newfield, Rebecca Lynn Howard. I mean, I work with Renee Grant Williams. She's a vocal coach that coaches like Christina Aguilera and tons of stars. And I am the studio that she brings most all of her people into. And I've worked a lot with her over the last 20 years. But some of that's been that knowledge base that I work with singers. I use part of that, and then other things I worked with Seth Riggs, and he was like all the rock singers in L.A. and Michael Jackson and just a ton of people in L.A.
Some good names there.
Oh yeah, but those are all people that I've kind of got their techniques and their ideas, and then I've just made them basically my own by working with a lot of great singers.
And I know you've got really incredible gear in your studio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a $20,000 vocal chain, which is totally world-class from every element, all the way from the microphone to the compressor to the tubes they're going through to the preamp. And that's really important in any studio, but the bottom line is you got to have somebody to help you. The biggest problem that I hear with singers just right off the bat is just performance, tone, and phrasing. Phrasing is something that not very many people get, but it makes a huge impact on all of the communication of what you're trying to do. A singer is trying to communicate either a type of emotion, either party or sadness or just fun or playfulness, whatever it is that's in the emotion of the song. And there's tools that can magnify all of that emotion. You just have to know how to use them, and I can show you every bit of it. So.
That's exciting. That's what they need.
That is it.
I mean, singers need the skills to really be able to perform and make their vocals believable, and yet the emotion needs to be there.
Yeah.
And the pitch has got to be there.
Yeah, all those things. Yeah, they all kind of, if you have great tone, and if you don't have great tone, I can show you why it's not working. And I can sing. So I can actually sing it to you and show you what you're doing wrong, and then I can also show you how you can fix it. Muscle memory is part of singing. There's a huge element of what I teach, and I have like a whole book that I'm working on for that, but that's a separate thing. But as far as any kind of vocal problems, I can go in and pinpoint exactly, not just kind of, exactly what you're doing and show you how it is. And then it just kind of becomes a learning curve at that point about how fast you can get away from something that's not working. Then the phrasing element of things, that's like looking at a lyric and knowing how to get the most out of that lyric. That's phrasing. If you have great tone, you're going to have great pitch. If you have bad tone, most likely there's pitch is going to follow. So those things are kind of hand in hand. Performance is just kind of like there's a combination of things that work with that. So, but I can show you all of it. It's really easy for me to convey all those ideas to singers, and that's really a huge advantage in this studio as opposed to other studios, because 99% of producers that are out there in the world can recognize a great performance, but they can't show you why it's not working. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem.
You've been here how long on Music Row?
20 years.
He's been here just a little longer than me. I wish I had my own studio. We get a great sound here. I mean, every time I've played any of the songs that you've produced, everyone is surprised at how affordable and yet how excellent the production is. So I'm so glad you're around to help our singers and
It
our
works.
songwriters.
Paul McCartney has heard some of the productions just in the last about 3 months, the last 3 months ago, and he heard some of it and said it was awesome, great production. He loved the studio. He loved the sound of the studio. He said it was very fresh and not overproduced. Paul McCartney is the #1 artist
I
of
love Paul
all time
McCartney. I love
history.
That's
so
awesome.
when you get him saying that it's good, it's good.
Tell
Yeah.
me about this Emmy also. Tell me what happened with that.
Yeah, I produced a song with a guy named Jeff Teague, and it was the artist is Darby Ledbetter. He's a singer-songwriter that was in the National Guard, and we got a song that they wanted to use as a promotional video, which was about a 2.5-minute song, and they made a video of it, and we took that, and they were going to use it for a National Guard, a recruitment video. And then they got it in 2,700 movie theaters. And
I saw it. I saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, and then it was nominated for an Emmy, and we won the Emmy.
Yeah,
So-
it's an excellent song, and
Yeah.
Darby does a great job on the vocals.
Oh, yeah.
And great production too.
Yeah, I definitely worked with Darby for about 1.5 years, 2 years on vocals.
Congrats on that. That's
Yeah, well,
wonderful.
Yeah, so it's Emmy award-winning production, studio, players. All these guys are all great guys, all Christian guys, rocking it.
All right. Thanks so much for spending some time
Sure.
with us. We really appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Great production, great vocals, and a
vocals.
great price right here with Kenny Royster at Direct Image Studios.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to come to Nashville to record? I'm Kathy Lemon. We're going to show you how to do it right the first time. Call me at 615-589-0777.